Hi, my name is George Duffy, and I was born in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, December the 6th, 1940. It's taken many years to get a perspective to my life. And what I think, we're born with three gifts in life: the gift of life, family identity, and unconditional love. Each of the gifts influence the other and ultimately makes us who we are. Although we don't have control over the gifts, we are able to shape them to influence the way we live our lives. There are three people that have impacted my life. Changed it. And that was my best friend's father, Christopher Rich. And I don't think he realized it. I didn't realize it for a long time. But I had an opportunity to see him when he was dying and to thank him for what he had done for me. My first crew chief in the military, John Tonis, a staff sergeant, World War II veteran, who pushed me to take the GED test for both high school and college. And I've had people like this in all through my life. Above all else, there is only one person who changed everything in my life for the better: my wife, Joan Duffy. And my wife has always been a part of that from the day we got married. October of 1966. I was on leave. Sister's husband's father was killed in West Virginia. And he was so upset, and I didn't want him driving to West Virginia, so I volunteered to take them down to his home. And when I got down there with them, my brother-in-law sister asked me if I would go to the airport and pick up her sister, Clarksburg, West Virginia, because she was flying in, and I said absolutely. And when I got to the airport, she came off the airplane, and as she was coming down the stairs, I had this thought in my head. I said, I'm going to marry that girl. And I know that sounds probably as idiotic as it is, because I didn't know her, I'd never seen her before. And we got to meet each other, talk to each other, and go through the funeral and everything. And I came back to Maryland, and I told her that if she came in and visit, I would show her, take her in the ballroom, take her to dinner. Joan and I went to dinner and dancing that night, and I asked her to marry me. And she accepted, and we were married 13th of October 1966. My wife and I took our first trip together. I had to move her from California back to Maryland in a very short period of time. So we drove out to California. So it was kind of like, I guess, getting to know each other and a honeymoon of a sort in the process. And we spent most of our time talking and making that trip, stopping where we could to do what we needed to do. It was very busy, but I came to know her and learned about her as far as her sensitivity, her love for animals, and her sense of caring of other people. We got stopped by the police for speeding, and when he found out I was getting ready to go to Vietnam and we had just gotten married, he left me go 20 miles from the state line. Otherwise it would have cost me probably $100 or more in tickets. But and my laughed. We laughed quite a bit about that one. And but we got to L.A., where she was living at the time, and we packed everything that we could possibly get into the car. And I never knew that one woman could have so many things, so many clothes. Anyway, but we had enough room to get in ourselves, and we started the journey back. I kind of got to know each other. We fell in love, and we had a good time. It was just, I don't know any other way. We made love a lot, let's put it that way, every opportunity. But I won't go into that one. I ended up leaving BWI Airport for Vietnam within a couple of days after that event, after we got settled in at my sister's. And probably out of all the people that impacted my life, at the time I didn't realize, but over the years, she's changed me and accepted me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. and as Clint Eastwood would say, I said we were married, and she loved being in the military, and we ended up having. We were told we couldn't have children, and in 1968 we adopted my oldest son, Sean, and she became pregnant approximately 3 months later with our youngest biological son, Brian. Spent 22 years. We traveled all over the country, all over the world, and loved the military. We have had our difficulties in the marriage of 50 years. The ins and outs of it, that's the way it is. It being in the military, moving around, experienced things that most people could not. My wife just did everything. I mean, she supported me for the 22 years that I was in the military, and she enjoyed it. We loved it, and through a very difficult time on retirement. And my wife and I separated for a period of time. I was an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic, and but we ended up going to counseling, and we got back together. And I was sober, and we were living together in 1993. On the 17th of April, 1993, we lost our 23-year-old son, Brian, in an aircraft accident. This was the most difficult time in our marriage, especially for my wife. Even to this day, it is very difficult for her. I wish I could do more to ease the pain that she carries every day. And we've been together, we celebrated in October 50 years. And I think that's a good thing. We experienced probably more in our lifetime than most people have. And that was the beauty of it all, you know. And then we got old. Our marriage has been beyond belief. Joan has given me a degree of happiness day by day and year by year. The true essence of unconditional love. However, I always worried about her. She falls. She's fallen, you know, these things, you know. But I think that's all part of it. You know, you kind of worry about each other, and you try to take care of each other as best you can. And we're very blessed that we have the opportunity we do that. and we're active. She's very active. So am I. I'm constantly busy, and maybe too much so. Like she keeps asking me, "What are you doing down there at the University of Maryland? When are you going to get done?" You know, I says, "When it gets done." I said, "A couple more weeks." She has no idea what's going on. I just said it's a CD. It's about veterans or something. But it is what it is. I'm very gifted, very blessed in my life and what I've been given, and especially her. And I don't think I tell her enough. She touched me in ways that, and I'm not good with words, but to be more sensitive to feelings and more compassionate with people. I'm a hard person by nature. I'm straightforward, and she's softer, and she has a love for life that just, and I picked up a lot of that. She's a kinder person than I am, or have been, and I've learned a lot of that from her. I wish I could have been better, and I love her so much that I just cannot put into words. I feel an emptiness when I'm not around her, and I don't think she understands that, and I don't know how to express it to her. We've been separated twice, and I often wonder, why did we ever stick together and get back together? And I think it was because deep down inside there's just a compassion and love down it's unexplainable. There's a bond, if you want to. Like was the other day, I was doing something, and just this past week, and she came up to me and she says, "You still have a nice looking ass." Don't put that on there. That's, when a woman tells you that, it's I think, a good thing. I don't know. The greatest moment, the day we got married.